Thank you all for tuning in. The following is a presentation of Bald Spots Productions. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Subscribe, follow, whatever it is you've got to do to kick that algorithm into gear and help us reach more people. It is I, your humble host, Bill Hatch the Third, coming to you live from the Palatial Home Studios of Bald Spots Productions here in the beautiful city of Malden, Missouri. Joining me from more than acceptable safe social distances are my guests for today, Ramya Kapadia and Frank Giammanco. Did I get that right?
Very good.
All right.
You got it right.
Yay!
Both of them.
How are you each doing?
You're multilingual.
I'm multilingual.
Good.
Yes. I actually studied doing accents and pronunciation back in my days when I thought I was going to be a professional actor. Actor.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to be able to do several English and Scottish accents and be able to pronounce things in different dialects. And I've never been good with languages though, because even living in a foreign country, my best I've ever hoped for was being able to be polite. Say please and thank you and hello and those kinds of things. But I lived in Southern California most of my life, and I still don't speak Spanish. So,
oh wow!
But
that says a lot.
Anyway, yeah, no kidding. English is the only language I can really work with. It's a shortfall. I have great respect for anyone who speaks more than one language. It's a difficult thing. But anyway, I always ask my guests the same first question: what are you reading? And let's go. I can be sexist. Let's start with Ramya. Ladies
I'm
first.
reading this book called Proof of Your Brain. It's by this neurosurgeon that went to Duke University, and it's all about the afterlife and his near-death experience. And I'm reading it very slowly because I have kids and lots of laundry, but but I'm interested in what he has to say. That's what I'm reading now.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
that's pretty.
Pretty interesting. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We're done?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm done.
I'm reading a... Okay, thank you. Thanks, everyone. I'm reading a novel by Francine Prose called Bigfoot Dreams. And basically her protagonist is a writer for... There we are.
Okay. Cool.
Nice.
That definitely sounds interesting. I've watched a lot of Bigfoot stuff and all. I've never gone on a Bigfoot hunt myself. No, probably not. I've never gone on a Bigfoot hunt. That always sounded kind of interesting. But I don't camp well.
Yeah. No. Nor have I ever gone on a Bigfoot hunt myself. But I've been to the Cascade Mountains, and that's about it.
Yeah. I've been to the Cascades.
So where do we go next?
Where do we go next?
I was going to ask how the have you always been interested in Bigfoot? Is it like a sudden interest, new interest?
Well, it's not a new interest. The idea for this book came to me quite some time ago. I've always been interested in the paranormal, and I've always been interested in things that are a little bit creepy, mysterious, unknowable. I was a big Twilight Zone fan as a kid, and continue to be, and so that's what motivated me.
Nice.
Okay. Have you ever seen the special Hollywood Graveyard did on the graves of the major Twilight Zone players? Of course, Rod Serling and and a bunch of the writers and some of the history and everything.
A bunch of the writers,
and some of the actors. It's pretty interesting. He really gets into the history
I've read
and
books on the
accomplishments.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Hollywood Graveyard. But yeah.
Okay,
so,
I'll look it up.
Graveyard.
Cool. So, Ramya, what were you going to say before I so rudely interrupted?
I was just curious about how Frank got into got interested
Bigfoot.
in Bigfoot and all the theories and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Tell us
What
about
is the
your
name?
book, Ramya.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. So the book I wrote, and again, I'm not like a prolific writer. This is my first. It's called Taikama and the Twin Stars. Here it is.
Cool.
And it is a children's book. And I think adults can read it. It's very imaginative. I wrote it as a gift for my daughter who's turning 10. And she
Wow.
loves reading. And I grew up reading Enid Blyton, and so it was always like these magical, mysterious places where anything was possible. And so I thought
Right.
I'd bring a little bit of that, where innocence is still preserved.
Yeah.
So that's what the book is about, and the adventures that 6 little children have.
Oh, that's great. That sounds
Yeah.
very, very whimsical.
Yes,
So,
it is whimsical.
Yeah. All right. Well, now you've shown your book. I guess I have to show my book.
Yes.
There we are.
Ooh.
Lord of the Wood.
Lord of the
Right.
Wood.
It's
Lord
my
of the
proof
Wood.
copy, but
I like it.
Yeah.
And where can
So what
people
made you
find?
decide to write the?
I was going to ask I was going to do
Go
the
ahead.
promotion spot. Where can people find your books?
Okay, mine are on Amazon.
On Amazon.
I'm on Amazon Kindle. Yeah, softcover and hardcover.
Okay.
I'm on Amazon, not on Kindle, but Amazon, and then BookBaby, which is what they're the publishers of the book. So BookBaby and Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is BookBaby
I'll be
good?
sure to put.
Have they done a good job?
They seem to be connected to a lot of different vendors, so that's been good.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
BookBaby.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I had explored them, but I didn't follow through. Yeah. Okay,
That's
Bill,
awesome.
go ahead.
I don't remember. Oh, I'll be sure to put links to your books in the description so people can find them easily, and all. But
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. So, is BookBaby more of a traditional publisher or a self-publishing kind of company?
It is a self-publishing type of company. So they provide as many services as you need. If you can do, for instance, I designed the book cover myself.
Oh, wow.
Because I was able to. It took a couple of tries, but I managed to do it. But otherwise, they will provide you with somebody that can design the cover or edit the manuscript for you, and anything you need, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's really
You'll find
cool.
most of the self-publishing houses now do that. They provide a variety of services. Also, at this point, self-publishing has become much more prolific than traditional publishing, because obviously there are more of them and fewer corporate publishers, and it's just easier to do.
Definitely. And for me, I mean, I wanted to give something to my daughter, so it was more of an informal thought, not I never ever thought of myself as an author, writer, anything like that. It was more a gift to my daughter. So, but I thought rather than just email her a PDF, it would be nice to
have
actually
a real book.
Have a real book. And then I looked it up, and then I got into the whole thing. Then it became a number of copies, and one thing led to another. And so I have a book.
Great. That's terrific.
Yeah.
You should follow it up. You should write a sequel.
So the thing is, I kind of made, I did that in the sense. I put book 1 on the title, so now there has to be a book.
To be a book too, yeah.
I have to. I did that to myself.
Well, you wouldn't be the first artist to do that with the assumption that others are going to follow, and then nothing does. But that sounds terrific. I applaud you.
Oh, thank you. So now I have to write the second one. There's bits already. When I don't know if this happens to you, but as I was typing away.
Yep.
Obviously, I just went on many different tangents. And then all of a sudden, it was like, I have to finish this book. So chop, chop, chop,
Right.
chop. So I have all the chop parts that could actually
Somewhere. Yeah.
be put into the second book. So I have
Right.
decent sections for the
Yeah. No,
second book.
it's like trimming a piece of meat. It's like cutting up a brisket.
Right.
You're right. I mean, you write and you write and you write, and then you say, "Why did I do that? Why am I in this alley?" I mean, it's crazy. And
Right.
then others had told me, "Well, your book is too long," and it's still too long. But well, I mean, not for me. It's I think it's a 2-day read, but it's an interesting process, and I think you raise a good thought in that. What I found is, I knew where I wanted to go initially. I knew
Right.
how I wanted to begin, but I didn't know really where it was going to go ultimately, and who the characters were going to be. I mean, a number of them are based on people I know, but
Right.
there were characters that popped up out of whole cloth. One of my favorite characters and one of the the key characters of the story is a reporter, a investigative reporter named Emerald Nemi. She came out of nowhere. I mean,
Wow.
I had no prototype for her, and so now
Right.
she's going to star in my second book because I
Oh,
like her
nice.
so much. Yeah.
Oh, I need to read your book then. Lord
Thank
of
you.
the Wood.
Yes, Lord
Yes.
of the Wood.
That's kind of like life, right? I mean, we set a goal and we think we're
Yeah,
heading that way, and many things
and then
happen along the way.
you wind up going down a different block. Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's absolutely true. No, but I mean the whole process of writing, as I've discovered it, and I've actually been a writer for pretty much all of my career,
Wow.
although I didn't do fiction as such. I did business writing. Um,
Okay.
but what I really discovered is that kind of the book writes itself. You sit
True.
down, you start, you have a premise, you have an idea, and then all of a sudden you're in a place you never thought you were going to go, and which is exciting. It's a thrilling feeling
Yeah.
to say, "Geez, my imagination took over." It's just
Yeah.
great. You know,
It's like you're viewing your own work.
yeah. Well, it's like you're like a passive observer,
Right.
and so somebody's coming through your body, channeling through your body, and writing the book.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
yeah. So what else do you do?
I do, well, I'm a singer, and
Oh
also a
well.
dancer.
Uh-huh.
I practice this form of Indian dance called Bharatanatyam,
Mm-hmm.
which is from South India, and Carnatic vocal, which is also a music form from South India.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I paint.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so
Oh, wow.
I do
So you're
a
an
little.
all around artist.
I think the cool
Yeah.
term, I think the cool term to use is a multidisciplinary artist. That's what we are
Okay.
calling ourselves these days.
All right.
Multidisciplinary.
Multidisciplinary artist. I'll have to
Right.
remember that the next time I run into one of you. Uh, yeah. So
Uh,
what
yeah.
does
I like
your
to
Where,
sing, but I'm not a professional singer.
oh,
style of singing sound like?
Go ahead.
oh, you did say that we would be asked to sing. Frank, you're up next.
I'm up next to sing. There's somebody I'm longing to see. I hope that she turns out to be someone to watch over me. That's it. That's
That's
all you
not
get.
bad.
That's
Oh,
all you get for a nickel.
Applesauce.
Yeah.
that
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you. Thank
great.
you. Yeah, so now you sing.
Oh, I have to sing. सरोजदलनेत्री हिमगिरिपुत्री नीपादाम्बुजमुने सदा नम्मिनानम्मा शुभमीमा मी श्रीमीना So
That's
something
lovely.
like that.
Yes.
I know that one.
You grew up with it.
No.
That's an old
Just
standard.
joking.
Aw.
Right out of
Yeah.
the American Songbook.
I think Sinatra did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Oh,
great. Actually, it's funny.
No, that was very lovely. That really was. You have it.
thank you.
I started the show
Go ahead, Phil.
interviewing musicians from a group called Music Network One that I belong to. It's a networking group, kind of like BNI, but it combines musicians and business owners and a bunch of different types of people. And yeah, we promote each other's stuff. It's a lot of fun and
Oh,
yeah,
wonderful.
and very effective. We actually helped launch a now nationally touring Queen tribute band, and we were quite proud of
Oh,
that.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You do
That's
Bohemian
great.
Rhapsody?
yeah, no, not me. I don't.
Did you hear me?
I don't. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I can play the radio. No, I actually
that's
do
good.
play a little bit of a couple of
Right.
instruments. But yeah, my singing is best left to the car. Or well, I don't really sing in the shower.
Okay.
The acoustics aren't that great in there.
Yeah.
But Ramya, how did you get into all these different arts that you do?
So I grew up with music. My mother is a singer, so I started taking lessons from her, and then other teachers along the way. I never ever thought I'd be an artist. I always wanted to be a scientist.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I studied biomedical engineering, medical physics, and neuroscience. That's my academic training. But before, I had this little interim period when I was writing my resume to apply for jobs, but I went on tour instead. I mean, the good thing is, I mean, through all the tears and the rebellion, I kept the practice up. The rebellion, like with my mother, because she used to insist that I keep practicing. It was a good thing that I kept practicing because
hmm
I went on tour, and then that went really great. And then I went on another tour, and I just kept touring, and I finally never finished my resume. I never applied for a job, and then continued just being an artist.
hmm
Wow.
That is how I stumbled
Yeah.
into being a
That's great.
full-time artist.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. I
Where
mean,
do you
people
live?
told me that
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
people told me,
Go ahead.
yeah, people told me that I should do like I should just practice the arts. And I was just like, are you serious? I want to win the Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
I want to invent all these things. And if somebody had told me, I would have never made that decision on my own. So it was a
hmm
good thing that the universe kind of conspired into. So I seem to stumble upon a lot of good and interesting things and
Yeah.
people, and I'm
So many
thankful for
people.
that.
So many people do that. Blame it on the universe. Come on. I mean, the universe has enough on its shoulders.
No, I'm not blaming. I have
I'm joking.
utmost I have utmost gratitude. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm not capable of
Yeah.
making those decisions. So I'm glad someone is doing
hmm
it for me.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it
Yeah,
sounds like very fulfilling. What I was
it
going to
is.
ask you before we both cut each other off was where do you live? What area of the country do you live?
I live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. What about
I was
you?
just in. I live in northern New Jersey,
Ah, okay.
and in
Okay.
fact, I was just interviewed on Chattanooga ABC TV.
Ooh.
You were.
Yes, I
Okay.
was for
Okay.
my book. Yeah,
Cool.
Oh, that's great. Do you think you might do a book tour or anything in Tennessee?
it's been discussed by the people, the PR people I work with. I don't know.
Okay.
I think what we would have to do is get the book into brick and mortar retail locations in
Right.
order to do
Right.
that.
Right.
And right now that hasn't happened, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
if you do come this side,
Yeah. I've been in
you'll have to
Knoxville.
look.
It's nice. It's a nice
Okay.
town.
It is a sweet little town.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Many years ago, I
Yeah.
lived in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Is that where you grew up? Oh, wow.
Clarksville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Parksville or Clarksville?
Clarksville. Last train to Clarksville?
Clarksville.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I was going to say. Last train to Clarksville.
Yep.
Okay.
Most people don't realize that's a war protest song.
No, really?
Yes, really. It's
What, from the Monkees?
From the Monkees. Written by Neil Diamond, if I remember correctly. But it's a war protest song. The Last Train to Clarksville. Clarksville is the closest city to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, home of the 101st Airborne. And the song is about a soldier who's about to get deployed to Vietnam, and he's telling his girl, "Take the last train to Clarksville so I can see you before I go and die." And
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's not made very clear.
Yeah.
But
well, it is the Monkees.
Right.
It's not like it's Dylan or something.
Hey, we're the Monkees.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. Not to get off on a tangent, but it's kind of remarkable. I remember the Monkees when I was a kid, and 3 out of the 4 of them are dead.
Yep.
Only Mickey Dolenz is left.
Yep. And he's still touring. He's not touring as the Monkees anymore.
Is he really?
He's not touring as the Monkees anymore, but since Mike Nesmith passed, it's Mickey. I think it's something like Mickey Dolenz remembers the Monkees or something like that. And yeah.
Oh, really?
And he goes and talks about the old stories and plays the music and all of that good stuff. But when I was a kid, I loved the Monkees. I'd drop everything when the show came on.
When the Monkees came on?
When the Monkees came on. Yep. All in reruns, but
Monday nights.
Yeah.
Oh, you watched it in reruns.
Yeah, I watched it in reruns.
I watched it in real time.
Oh no, I saw the I saw the reruns.
I watched the Twilight Zone in real time too. Yeah.
No, can't say I'm that old. I'm older than Ramya, I'm sure, but
no.
I don't know. Rerun sounds kind of about right.
Well, I'm older than both of you.
Okay.
I'll accept that.
I'm not trying to show off. I'm just telling you. Yeah.
How did you get into writing, Frank?
How did I get into writing? It's interesting. I've been writing since I was an elementary school kid.
Mm-hmm.
And one Thanksgiving, so this is an appropriate time to tell this story. One Thanksgiving, teacher asked us to write a little essay about Thanksgiving and what it meant to us and all that stuff. And I went in a completely different direction, and I wrote a little short story about a talking turkey. And she was so captivated by it that she had me read it to the class, and they laughed and they enjoyed it. And then she kept me back from class, and she said to me, you really have a talent for this. You should become a writer. You should think about being a writer.
Wow.
And that just stuck in my head, and I said, yeah, she's right. I'm a writer. And and at that time, what I was reading was mostly classic comics, and stuff like Jules Verne and H.G. Wells and a lot of the old 19th century science fiction. It was a while before I really started to pick up novels and get into reading, but then I became a pretty avid reader and a kind of a book junkie, and one thing led to another. By high school, I was writing fairly frequently. I started my own newspaper in school, and went on to have went on to college and studied communications, and then went on to a career and got into publishing, and owned my own publishing business from 2000 to 2017. We sold it then. And from that point on, I was consulting with a lot of the companies I worked with and writing. And that's where I am now. That's what I consider myself to be.
Oh,
That is incredible.
how many books
Yeah,
have you written
thank
today,
you.
Very amazing.
Frank?
I'm in the middle of the third book. Yes, I'm in the middle of a third book. I'm actually close to concluding it, but it's a business book, and my first book was a business book, and then the middle one was Lord of the Wood.
Right.
So I go back and forth. I mean, it's the business books have to some degree paid the bills. And what I've been doing really is I've been writing memoirs for other people.
Wow.
So
Oh, lovely.
Okay. No,
yeah.
my
That is
background,
lovely.
my academic background is actually in business. I find it really interesting, and I focused in leadership and management. My degree's in marketing and management, but marketing just, I mean, it kind of interests
Uh-huh.
me, but because it's kind of convincing other people of to take certain actions and that kind of thing.
To buy things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to buy things. Yeah, I kind of try to look at it in a more general sense because I consider myself an armchair economist. See, my dream is to win the Nobel Memorial
Uh-huh.
Prize in economics, and that's the
Ah.
one I want to get, or maybe physics, but figure
Economics or physics.
or both.
Right.
I'll win two in vastly different
Right.
fields.
So I'm guessing this is all a diversion for you.
Well, it kind
The
of
podcast
started. The
and-
podcast
podcast.
started as a diversion. Actually, it started as a promotion for a project I was working on, but I don't remember what it was because it failed and became unimportant. But I started co-hosting the show I was advertising on, and on AM 830, your home for Angels baseball, and it just
Oh,
it
wow.
grew from there, and eventually turned into a podcast, and
Yeah.
I started doing this and found it really interesting. I hope to one day make money off of it, but right now it's been very the funding has been very
Yeah.
limited. Much like you, Frank, I have to do
Sure.
things other than to keep the lights on.
Right.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Always. I think
Right.
that is the case for anyone that doesn't have a job, the salaried job.
Anybody who's trying to make a living or functions on kind of
Mhm.
almost a freelance basis.
Freelance.
Yeah.
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 It's
Yeah.
challenging. It's very
Yeah.
challenging.
For sure. How do you
All
two
right.
deal
Well, now that we
with
brought your audience down.
yeah? How do you two deal with that? I mean, I know, Frank, you write the business books, and Ramya. Sorry.
Mhm.
How do you
Mitt
deal with
Romney.
yeah. No, that was actually the name of
The
a street.
financials.
That was the name of a street where I used to live in California. Was Romnia.
Ah,
Yeah.
Ah.
But
Okay.
but anyway, so how
Well,
do you
it's
deal with
obviously
the
stuck in your head.
financial
Yeah.
uncertainties?
well, I teach.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I have students that I teach,
Okay.
just like private lessons for voice and dance.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that is, I guess, like my steady income.
Mhm.
And the freelance work would be, the touring and performing
Right.
and things like that, which you never know. I might have a bunch of shows at one point or nothing at all, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
the teaching is kind of the steady income.
Ah, well, of
You
course.
should look into. I will send you.
Right, and continue to play it.
Ramya,
Yeah.
I will send you the information
Uh-huh.
to hook up with
Right.
with the chapter in Tennessee of MNO in Tennessee, and you should check it out and see if
Oh,
it's something that might work with your.
okay.
There's a chapter
Yeah.
in Tennessee, and it's called Perfect 10.
Okay.
But I will send you the information
Yeah.
to check them out and see if that might be something that would work in your marketing plan for
Mhm.
your touring. It's really cool. Musicians get
Okay,
in for free.
thank you.
Musicians and
Okay.
performers
that's
and
great.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Oh, there
definitely.
were a lot of
Okay,
Zeppelin did a lot
I
of
will
amazing
definitely
guitar
look at
work.
that.
Okay,
Thank you.
Right.
no problem.
Over the
My
Hills and Far
pleasure.
Away is terrific.
So
yeah,
Frank,
yeah.
what can you tell us about Bigfoot?
Yeah.
What is the book of? Yeah, what's the book about? Other than
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Mhm. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. hmm Yeah. Yeah. Recently, when Jeff Beck passed away, I pulled out Rough and Ready. And do you know the album? And do you know the album? Yeah. I oh, you don't know it. Okay. It's no. It's just it's a combination of rock and blues, and the guitar work there is also amazing. I mean, yeah, it's an old album. It goes back to, I don't know, 72, 73, something like that. Mainstream. Yeah,
Collington.
right. Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely true. Yeah, I don't even remember him ever speaking. I don't think I've ever heard his voice because he didn't sing. He always there was a singer on the band. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
hmm
hmm.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
hmm hmm
hmm I was going to ask
Interesting.
about that. Ooh.
Yeah,
So the two groups
it
never
worked.
meet in the
Yeah.
book, or do they at the end?
Mhm. Very
And
good.
do you think
Well, folks, it's 2:00. Um, I'm sorry, I have to adjourn.
another? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Ships in the night.
Oh, now I'm wondering if each of these groups experienced Bigfoot based on their lives,
Only
or
nice words are
did they
please
see
check out my
him?
book. It's on Amazon. Makes a great Christmas gift, Hanukkah
Okay.
gift. And I guess Lord of the Wood, and that's about it. Ramya,
But a friendly one.
what he said. Very true. Very true.
Hmm.
There you go. Thank you. You too. You too. All right, guys.
Not
Be
by
well.
not by Bigfoot. He's just implicated.
Nice to meet you both.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very curious now.
Yep. Yeah. Now we're all gonna go out.
Okay.
We're all gonna rush out and buy the book.
Yeah. Oh, that will be my gift to myself. It's okay.
Not necessarily for children.
Not for children. No. This is a gift for me. Mhm. It is interesting you said. Oh, sorry. No, when Bill mentioned we may be talking about Bigfoot, um, it is interesting. Just this past weekend, our family went to the mountains and we were in the Cherokee Reservation area, and there was a huge sign. I mean, just a sign that said Bigfoot here. And right this past weekend.
Wow.
So yeah, and my son immediately he was like, "There's Bigfoot," and I said, "What? Where?" And then he was pointing to the sign. Wow, I'm not surprised.
Oh.
See, it is sort of like I mean, perhaps not anymore in India, but then we have all these stories, these old stories about characters, and we don't know whether they were real or not, but the places that are described in those stories exist. They do exist. And the types of trees, the plants, the animals, all of that sort of exists. But we don't know these people who could, they were gods, they were demons, and people with all these powers. We don't know if they were actually there or not. I mean, obviously we can learn lessons from those stories. That was the whole point of the stories. But it's sort of like that. And then people once in a while, someone will either earlier in the newspaper, but now on social media, people will post and they'll be like, we found this figure of, this god or this person in this cave, and things like that. And all of a sudden, everyone will try to go and find the person slash thing. Right. Yeah. Right.
A million deities.
Yeah.
The land of a million deities.
Yes. So that's the other thing. Deities, yeah. No, they again, each of these is kind of tailored to your personality. So if there are certain things that I would like this god more than that god, they're all the same. Oh, just the one. Right. Something, a quality. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly in the Roman Catholic tradition.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm actually studying religion right now. I've gone to grad school for a Master's of Divinity in a concentration called Marketplace Ministry. Yeah, it combines the traditional divinity type classes like Greek and Hebrew and all that stuff with classes in business and journalism and leadership and a wide variety of stuff. So matches pretty well with my business background.
Oh, interesting.
I'm planning to use it as part of an overall plan to teach ethical leadership to people. And primarily to emerging leaders, recently promoted people into leadership positions, because they tend to be more open to new learning, as opposed to people who are established and like, no, I know everything already, and I don't need you. But yeah, I find the topic of leadership endlessly fascinating. And business is definitely a great place to express that. I was on a podcast yesterday, too, discussing that in a 4-person roundtable. I was on a podcast. Yeah, I actually got invited. Yeah, I make a wonderful guest for a podcast. Not as good as you two.
We're okay. Just people. It's more like people that post on Amazon, things like that. Yes. Yeah. They like it. They seem to like it because they can, if they want, they can read it to kids that can't read yet. But it's easy enough for young readers to read. And my mom, who's actually she's a fantastic writer herself. So she read it and she was like, I love this book. And I was like, really? Yeah, she's a Taikama and the Twin Stars. So Taikamaa. Just means magical country. And the Twin Stars. Twin Stars. Yeah.
So Taikama means magical country?
So Taika is again like country and magic in Finnish.
Okay.
I learned recently, and Ma in a lot of languages just means mother, which can represent earth and land and things like that. So I just combined the two and made a name, Taikama.
That's great.
Yeah.
It sounds really nice too.
That's how that place came about. Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
Nope.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's funny.
Which means I have to write that second book, at least. I do.
You got to at least do a trilogy to make it so that you can make it into a good movie franchise.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
Right.
That's cool.
Wow.
We could be looking at the at a budding career and fame and fortune.
Who knows?
Sure,
Yeah, why not?
the standard
No,
rich
but
and
I think,
famous
yeah, your
contract.
book too, Lord of the Wood. That would make a good movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A movie or a series, you know? Right. It is.
Yeah,
I like
and
stories
there's
like that.
definitely room
I will
for
definitely get
plenty
your
of
book.
there's definitely room for plenty of actors if you have two main groups of protagonists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Nice.
you know they'll make plenty of cuts. Oh yeah, as long as you get the money. Yeah, I've actually had yeah, yep, little credit on I've had actors and writers and movie writers. I was trying to remember the name of the guy. He did Repo the musical, and I can't remember his name right off. But yeah, so people who've actually had their movies made uh, on the show, so you never know when somebody might be watching. But
Yeah.
yeah, there it is. His name, Darren Gordon Smith. There we go, with Repo the musical. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a cult. It's considered a cult classic. Repo the Genetic Opera. Yeah, yeah. His last movie was The Second Age of Aquarius. They are both awesome movies,
Oh,
but yeah, you never know when somebody might actually watch this. Uh, no, I joke
yeah.
about having 13. Yeah, I joke about having 13 people who regularly view the show, but honestly, we've gotten into the tens of thousands before. So I think the record so far is about 30 grand. So for a single channel, and yeah, that's just the YouTube numbers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, um, yeah. So you know, you never know when one of these days I might get the oh, what's his name? Oh no, that's terrible. Joe Rogan. No, I'll get the Joe Rogan money. Uh, he's like the highest paid podcaster in the world, and yeah, he got a contract from Spotify for like $100 million. So yeah, yeah. Well, that's how you get viewers is controversy. But yeah, yeah. They built it. They built an empire on that, and now it's owned by Disney. Oh, selling out to the mouse. But no, Fox is owned by Disney now. Murdoch's out.
Oh, wow.
He took his billions of dollars and left. This has been a couple of years now. Yeah, Disney owns the Simpsons now, which is funny because they actually predicted it.
Did they?
Yeah, they there was an episode of The Simpsons where they I think it was one with Ron Howard in it, and he was pitching a movie at Fox Studios, and as they panned over to the exterior shot, it said Fox Studios, a Disney company or something like that, and yeah, yeah, yes, they did, and yeah,
Wow.
oh yeah, it was yeah, it's crazy,
Hmm.
right. I remember when it was a joke and not when it was a joke. Uh,
I need to go watch. Yeah, I need to go watch all those episodes again very carefully and see what else has come true.
wow.
Uh,
Okay.
I've watched it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've watched a few.
I've seen a few myself. Okay. I saw the ads for it. I haven't watched the show itself, but I thought it looked kind of kitschy. and might be interesting. That's on
Okay.
Paramount CBS, isn't it? Correct. Okay. Oh, yeah. You can only rerun Okay. You can only rerun the same episode so many times during a writers and actors strike. Yep. But my cousin does that. I can't do that with television shows, but I do that with music, where I'll get hooked into a song
Mm.
or a couple songs and just keep running it through my head often. Um, yeah, one thing that I do, I don't play guitar, but I love watching people explain how somebody did something amazing with guitar. And so they'll be talking about the tabs and the
Mm.
chords and the fingering and stuff, and I have no idea what they're talking about. But I love watching it. Yeah, one of the songs I'm really into right now is Led Zeppelin's "10 Years Gone," and just an amazing guitar song. And yeah, it's yeah.
Mm. Yeah, Zeppelin.
Well, they
Yeah.
have an amazing guitarist, so yeah, Over the Hills and Far Away is terrific. I mean, but yeah, it's just about it. If you really want to hear something different, Jimmy Page did a bunch of stuff with the Black Crowes a few years back, and it's really just amazing because they've got their two guitarists and bass player, and then of course he comes in and plays, and so you get this layering effect, and it's really kind of cool. Gives songs a different depth. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know a
No,
lot of Jeff Beck stuff.
no, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to listen. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, highly recommend listening to Jeff Beck and his work. Yeah, he never really broke into uber famed, famedom mainstream. He's more of a guitarist. And which is an okay place to be, but yeah, he birthed guitar players, great guitar players. Yeah, no, I don't think so either. I don't think I have either. Right. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Um, oh, what was it? The other night, heard for the first time, John Paul Jones, going back to Zeppelin, did a I'm trying to remember how to call it, the playing for change version of, oh great, now I can't remember which song it was, but it's one of the Zeppelin songs, and of course he's playing bass, but they get all these musicians and singers from around the world playing different sections of
Mm.
the song. The levee when the levee breaks. That's the song. And so they have a couple of
When
they
the
have
levee breaks.
a harmonica player from Africa, and a Norwegian female singer, and just people from New Zealand and California and all over the world. And it was just amazing to hear the different takes on the and how it all harmonized together, because you'd think with all the different styles and cultural backgrounds that it'd just be incoherent, but it just meshed together just beautifully. um, yeah, I have to give that another listen, but yeah, yeah, when the levee breaks. And yeah, I found that on
Okay.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube just randomly, the algorithm didn't fail me there. Uh,
Mm.
but sometimes the
Mhm.
algorithm gives you a dud. But that time it came through, I think. But it worked. But yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm thinking it's about time to okay. No, I was just thinking that it's about time to leave them wanting more. And all. When we come to the end of a show, I usually ask my guests if they have any final words for the nice people. Frank, how about you? Lord of the Wood. Okay. Ramya, how about you?
What he said. Is that a check out both books?
Yeah.
You know, you cover all ages in the
You can see
family.
there's room on my bookshelf
Yeah,
for more
and
books.
happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays.
See?
All of them around the
Yeah,
world.
happy holidays.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
thanks everybody for tuning in.
it's great
It
to
was
meet
great to
you.
meet you both. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Remember to stay safe out there and wash your hands and stay tuned for the ending credits. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been a presentation of Bald Spots Productions. I'd like to thank our producer, my beloved mother, Eileen Hatch. I, of course, am your humble host. I'd like to thank my special guests, Ramya Kapadia and Frank Giammanco. Support the show if you feel so led over on patreon.com. We're known as Bald Spots Pro. Don't you dare miss YWL Online. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever fine podcasts are offered. Tune in next time when my special guests will be Andy Charles and Joseph M. Leonard. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Subscribe, follow, whatever it is you've got to do to kick that algorithm into gear and help us reach more people. If you or someone you know needs support now, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. That is the suicide and crisis lifeline here in the United States.